Alright, morning chores today are going to be a little bit different.
I can't forget the day we met, your eyes so blue, me pressing through. I can't forget the day we met, your smile so bright, it made me swoon.
Now that we have some new animals on the farm, it's going to be a little bit more work in the mornings for me and in the evenings, but I'm very excited about it. Okay. Hey, Axel. The girls and I painted this door a little while back whenever we decided to change up this area. Put on a new door, a little more sturdy, and better windbreak for them. It was a lot of fun. So we moved Missy up here with her babies, and she really likes to go potty right next to the door and the nest box. So every day I have to clean all of this out. We put a blanket in there to give a little extra windbreak from the bottom of the cage so that wind can't just come up the bottom and chill those babies. I want to keep them nice and warm. Hey, Missy. Hi, Missy. And there's Missy's little babies. All nice and warm, curled up in the very back of the nest. There we go. This area is covered in hay right now, but during the summers we'll be able to move it and they'll have fresh pasture grass, and we won't have to muck this out every week. We feed all of our rabbits free choice of hay as well as an ample amount of pellets, and they all also have a mineral wheel that they can choose to lick on if they want, and they all get fresh water. Now on to the chickens. We were giving them scratch and layer pellets, but we have now put them strictly on layer pellets, and they free range, so they get plenty of extra stuff running around this yard. This one's Matilda in the sick wing. She gets a little bit of pellets and fresh water. She gets a little more, and she also gets scratch because she's not free ranging. These ladies are extremely impatient and feel the need to bombard you when you go to open the door because they like their free ranging. Alright, so that would usually be the end of the morning chores, at least until the garden comes in. But now that we have pigs and goats, let me show you what we do over there. First things first, gotta get a feed bucket for the pigs, and to start them off, we are doing 1 pound of grain per pig in the morning, and then in the evening for the first 3 to 5 days while they're here with us, to make sure that they finish all of their food, because they're also foraging. And then we will be going up a 1/4 pound every 3 to 5 days as we watch them finish their food, just so we're not just dumping a whole bunch of grain out there that they're not going to finish eating. All right, back to the pump house. Man, it looks like a mess in here. We now have 2 more things of feed, but only 1 extra spot for it for now, because we keep the hay in one of the bins and we keep we were keeping the chicken scratch in the other. So once we remove the hay and the chicken scratch, then the pigs and the goats feed will go in there. I like to add water to their feed and let it soak a little bit. So I gotta hook up my hose. We unhook it at night so that it doesn't freeze and cause us to have no water.
I never wanna look at a house in the garden. I never wanna lock you down. I know you're not mine, it's just my turn, but we can still have.
Alright, now we add the water to the feed. And while we're over here, we can refresh the water in here for the piggies. Then I just use a little random stick to kind of help stir it up some. Next thing to do is take their feed and dump it out on the ground for them and let them enjoy.
You told me you don't really do commitment, trust me. Consider your message received. You said you couldn't take us too seriously. I must admit I was relieved, 'cause I never wanna play happy families with you, but I like having you around. I'm fully aware this is a flash in the pan.
All right, now while they are enjoying their breakfast, we have to do a perimeter check of the pig palace, because pigs will dig. Obviously they root, and after watching some videos about gelatin and reading up and doing lots of research, they eventually will terrace your land, which is why we put them right here. As you know, we have nothing but a giant hill for property, and we want to terrace it, so make little levels of flat land throughout the property so that we have areas for the animals to run around so we can make pasture land and have a yard. So I'm going to go through and I'm going to make sure that all the way around the bottom of our palace is touching the ground, and on the outside, and then on the inside I'm going to make sure that the buildup is not high enough up for them to just fall right over the top of the pallet. Pigs are actually pretty awesome. These are mangalitsa's, so the Kobe beef of pork, and they give awesome lard. And the biggest reason we have them is to help mend our land. We need to level areas out and kind of just fix it up all together. It's a bit of a mess. We're pretty sure it was a junkyard at some point before we bought it, or at least people used it as a dump. Also plan to move them throughout our yard. So this is just the first area they're going to be, and we're going to move it over and over and just keep moving it as they terrace the land for us. Now they're not going to do all of the hard work, but they're going to root it up enough and dig it down and build it up a little bit. We can go in and pull out all the big rocks and the big roots and tree stumps, and then we'll be able to amend it and add some good compost or soil in there, as well as adding some grass seed or clover or something like that to be able to have some pasture land at some point. It will take time, but I give those pigs about 2 weeks to have that area pretty much tore up. They've only been there 2 days, and they've done a pretty good job so far. Over there, they've already begun to dig down along this fencing. It doesn't look like it yet, but they have definitely done a lot of work already in here. So it'll be exciting to see what it looks like in 2 weeks. All right, last but not least, we have our goaties, which are the one animal I've been wanting for a really long time. So I'm pretty excited about having them. One of them is pregnant and due with her kid in early March. And then the other one was being slightly bullied, and we're hoping to get her up to weight, and then she'll be old enough to breed a year. They are gorgeous, and I just love to sit in here and watch them. So, the first night, they spent their night out by the fence. So yesterday we brought them in here, and they are loving it. Soaking up the sun, keeping warm in the hay or the straw. Looks like they finished off all of their grain. We got them a mineral block. And this one over here, her name is Velma. She's the little one. She's about 9 months old. And she just loves this little mineral block. It's so funny. She follows Sally, this one, all over the place. And Sally came out of here yesterday, and Velma was eating some of that hay, and then she decided to go follow her, but she seen that mineral block right there, and she's like, oh, hang on, I need to lick this a little bit first. It was funny. All right, enough chit-chatting about the goats. I could probably go on all day about them. Now for the chore. I have to get them some grain, and they still have plenty of water. They have some hay in here in this little feeder, and we also have some hay for them on the outside. We'll put the hay and the grains on the inside of their little barn area so that they would stay dry, and they'll still be able to eat if it starts raining, because here lately Arkansas can't make up its mind and has decided to rain, you know, every other day. We set up these 2 little hay feeders over here. Because we know Velma was being bullied a bit, we wanted to make sure that she was able to get to all of the feed that she wanted. I know that in big herds of goats, there is an order and they show their dominance and stuff. And Sally has already shown us that she's the dominant, and Velma knows that as well. But we figured since we only have 2 goats and we have 2 feeders, they have free choice to go to either feeder, and it will help cut down on any kind of fighting that might happen. And looks like they ate all of it last night. These were plumb full. So I guess I will be getting some grain and some hay. As of right now, our hay, like I mentioned before, is in our feed bin on the other side of the yard. I'll have to go all the way over there to get them their hay. But eventually, we're hoping to build a double-sided barn maybe, or a little shack over here to be able to store the hay and the feed. The plan is to actually build a rabbit colony so that all of our rabbits can stay together. And we've been working on the plans for that for a little while now, and we also plan to move that colony over here where the pigs are. Once they've terraced this area and we've got some grass growing, then our rabbits will be there, and our chickens will be over here as well. So there will be one very large fence, and then there will be smaller individual areas like paddocks or housing areas for all of our different animals on this one side of the yard. Alright, so each one of those little pink cups is a full 8 ounces, and I give them 4 of those for the day.
I keep a photograph in which we were in love, caught in your eyes, waiting for the sunrise.
never perfect, I swear. But somebody told me that it's over. I know it's true. You made me happy for a while. I remember fleeting times when we slept on top of cars. Now I don't know you, you don't know me too. I remember fleeting times when we watched the sparks of fire. Now I don't know.
Last bit of hay I'm gonna put on their inside bin. That way they have the choice of where they want to pick it up at. Now that I'm all covered in hay and done with my chores, I can spend some time with these ladies.
Stars shone in our eyes like the lights of fireplace. We were obsessed and we felt warmth in our chests. Your heart was full of dreams. It made you feel extreme. Give me a sign.
Isn't she just the sweetest little thing? I love her ear coloring. So pretty. Alright, well, that's it for this morning's chores. We'll have to come back and do it all again this evening. But thanks for hanging out with me. See you later, guys.